Hey, welcome in. Cloud coverage is pretty stubborn into this afternoon, but low to mid 70s across a lot of our area. Inland, you're really going to hit those mid 70s, though. It will feel quite nice. Mostly cloudy skies turn partly cloudy by this evening. Fog's going to be a problem, though, once you get into the overnight hours. That's your forecast first. WXXV News 25 starts right now.
Coming up on News 25 at noon, you all made your voices heard yesterday. We have results from the Mississippi primary coming up. And keeping with the polls, election commissioners are saying voter turnout was low. We head around the coast to hear from some of those commissioners. And headed over to Keesler, we celebrate a very special Veterans Day for our furry friends. Good afternoon, South Mississippi, and thank you for joining us for News 25 at noon. I am Ansley Brent. Well, starting off, a Biloxi man is behind bars on an aggravated domestic assault charge. According to Biloxi police, 29-year-old Evelio Nuri was taken into custody Tuesday on a $100,000 bond. Officers had earlier been dispatched to a residence on the 200 block of Baker Street on a domestic violence call. Police noticed signs of injury on the victim and identified Nuri as the suspect in the case. In other news today, John White, son of Mississippi House Speaker Jason White, was arrested in Destin, Florida earlier this week. White is also a freshman quarterback at Southern Miss. On Monday's deputy with the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office arrested White for underage possession of alcohol. White was later released from jail pending an upcoming court date. And now I have alongside me meteorologist Jeff Ford, who has a quick look at your weather. But we've been spending a lot of time together today. How you doing?
Oh man, I need another cup of coffee. I think just to drag to the afternoon. How are you?
Doing pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm used to it a little bit more than you, but you're doing great. Keep holding on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey, nice day out. Little bit too gloomy for some people's liking, but here's your view atop the Golden Nugget. Jalen Toyota providing this one. And yeah, gloomy skies, generally reporting overcast conditions at Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi. 68 degrees, though. It is warming up pretty nicely out there. Winds out of the south to southeast do continue, and those winds are definitely verifying, as they will be this afternoon. Let's head to my neck of the woods in Biloxi. Edgewater is our hometown forecast, provided by Backyard Paradise Pool. 72 degrees, nice and warm one. Winds are definitely picking up, and they'll continue to do so. Here in a few minutes, I'm going to be breaking down what to expect over the next few days. But for now, get out and enjoy it this afternoon. We have rain chances on the way later this week.
Thank you, Jeff. New this afternoon, the Biden administration announces nearly $10 million have been earmarked for a transportation project in Jackson County. Specifically, $9,600,000 will go to fund a multi-use path for pedestrians and bicyclists to safely get between Ocean Springs and Gaucher. The proposed path will encompass Highway 90 from Washington Avenue to Dolphin Drive and Gaucher. These funds are administered by the U.S. Department of Transportation and are also a part of President Biden's Investing in America agenda. And the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources held a public cleanup, collecting almost 400 derelict crab traps with the help of 91 volunteers and crab fishermen. The program ran from February 22nd through the 24th. Only 46 traps were recovered at the Bayou Caddy boat launch in Bay St. Louis, where 132 traps were recovered from the Ocean Springs Harbor. The most traps were recovered at the Pascagoula Point Park, with 220 being retrieved. The crab trap removal program began in 1999, and the program has facilitated the removal of over 22,000 traps. And primary elections here in Mississippi are now in the books, and there weren't really any surprises in the 3 contested races on the ballot here in South Mississippi. In case you missed it, though, here are the results. With 94% of the vote reporting, former President Donald Trump is the winner in the Republican presidential primary. This was an expected result, as Trump's last challenger, Nikki Haley, dropped out of the race last week. On the Democratic side, we have President Joe Biden winning his primary unopposed. Moving on to the primary race for Senate, incumbent Republican Senator Roger Wicker will advance to the general election. He's challengers Gannon Burton and Dan Eubanks. Wicker will face Democratic Senate candidate Ty Pinkins in November. Also back here in South Mississippi in the 4th Congressional District, first-term Congressman Mike Ezell is one step closer in his bid for a second term in the House. With nearly all the votes counted, Ezell won the Republican primary with 73% of the vote compared to Carl Boynton's 19% and Michael McGill's 7%. Ezell will now face Democrat Craig Raybon in November after Raybon ran unopposed in the Democratic primary for this race. Election commissioners across South Mississippi say voter turnout was low for yesterday's primaries. Harrison County Circuit Clerk Justin Wetzel tells us turnout was around 12 to 15% as a whole in the county, while Jackson County Deputy Clerk Valerie Damasio says only 465 absentee ballots were cast in her county. That's about 0.5% of the almost 89,000 active voters on the rolls. In Hancock County, Election Commission President Donna Henry agreed the turnout was pretty low there as well. One indication was the lack of campaign signs at precincts. Some signs were not even put up until early Tuesday morning. And happening tonight, the eastbound lanes of I-10 are set to close at Minge Avenue. The closure begins at 8 p.m. and those eastbound lanes will reopen at 6 o'clock Thursday morning. The closure has been rescheduled twice so far due to material delays and wet weather conditions last week. Crews tonight will continue to place concrete beams and safety devices for the new overpass there. And during the closure, interstate traffic will be rerouted using the Minge Avenue exit and on-ramps. And another traffic note to tell you about right now, the eastbound entrance ramp at Bayview Avenue on I-110 North is closed until 4:30 this afternoon. Crews are doing work in that area right now, prompting the closure. If you're headed through that area, please exercise some caution. And the Naval Construction Battalion Center is releasing new details about a fuel spill that happened on the base this past weekend. On March 9th, the base's microgrid system experienced an unexpected discharge of about 1,800 gallons of diesel fuel. Crews trained in fuel cleanup quickly responded to contain and clean up the spill, and some of those cleanup efforts are ongoing. Base officials say no fuel left the installation's boundaries, and there's no anticipated risk to base residents when it comes to potable water or environmental factors. The exact cause of the fuel discharge is still being investigated. And today is Veterans Day for a specific species of animal that has a special role to play in our armed forces. This morning, Keesler Air Force Base hosted a ruck march in honor of K-9 Veterans Day. A group from the Naval Construction Battalion Center also brought their K-9 unit over for the fun. The event honored past and present military working dogs in the Department of Defense. Handlers also followed the march with demonstrations displaying command signals and attacks. Staff Sergeant Ryan Wood talked to us about the bond she shares with her K-9 Victor.
So military working dogs have been used dating back to the creation of the Army Canine Corps in 1942, and we've used them through World War II, through Vietnam, and so on, and they've provided us with a lot of capabilities that humans just cannot provide. And he's taught me so much over these last 3 years, and just getting to see him grow as a dog and seeing growth within myself, it's something that I just couldn't trade.
There are 3 types of military working dogs that work in apprehension, explosive, and narcotic detection. And before we head to break, it's time for WXXV Vote, brought to you by Southern Properties United. Our question today is, did you vote yesterday? Right now, yes is in the lead with 64%. And you can vote by going to our website, WXXV25.com, and clicking on the WXXV Vote link in the news drop-down menu, or use the QR code you see on your screen now. And coming up on News 25, the United States House has passed a bill that would ban TikTok. The cause of this ban is coming up.
We do have cloud coverage in view. I'll tell you when to expect some clearing, but then rain chances up next.
And now, your weather authority.
Hey, welcome in. Here's your Hancock Whitney view from downtown Bay St. Louis atop Dan B. Murphy's Restaurant and Bar. Cloudy skies continue, and you're finding that, but it hasn't put a lid on those temperatures. 68 degrees now. Winds out of the south, about 8 to 12 miles per hour, gusting 15 to 20 in some spots. And once this veil of clouds moves out, things will change. You will see clearing eventually through the area. Mississippi Power Doppler does have a band of sprinkles really east of I-59 into portions of western Stone County, but again, not a ton of coverage with this activity. I am carrying 20% rain chances today. Your Green Home Solutions allergy report has tree pollen about as bad as it can get. Pines, ashes, oaks, they are blooming. You can feel it. You definitely can see it on your car as well. Grass pollen's even in the high spectrum as well. So be mindful of that. double up on your allergy medicine if you have the chance to do so. Mostly cloudy skies do try to clear out later on. A 20% chance of a passing sprinkle or shower is in play, definitely showing up now on our radar. Winds out of the south to southeast will continue, and they'll really pick up through latter portions of the afternoon, 10 to 20 with those gusts in there. Patches of dense fog develop tonight. Southerly flow is going to continue to make it more humid, and temperatures being fairly mild, going to have a bit of a difficult commute tomorrow morning. On average, partly cloudy skies can be expected. Here's that disturbance moving through the region now. That's what's providing for the cloud cover, and it will gradually make its way out. Thing to note, low-level deck of clouds is still present west of here. That should break apart some this afternoon, typically how it will work, right? Off to our northwest is where you find an area of low pressure developing. That makes things a bit more unsettled towards the middle, and especially, well, we're already in the middle, towards the end of this work week with 60% thunderstorm chances for you Friday. The model timing on this is a little bit tricky, but Saturday looks to be mainly rain-free. Then you get rain chances in earnest by the time you get towards Sunday. So it gets busier. High-resolution data is finally coming in. Thing to note, temperatures are going to be above average, but still a little on the cool side for this afternoon compared to what we've been dealing with. Warm morning low temperatures tonight, and low-level deck of clouds will be very much present for the area. Warming quickly tomorrow, though, with temperatures reaching well into the 70s. This model has Gulfport gridded a little wrong. We're getting into technicalities here, but I think Gulfport's going to be warmer than that reading there. 30 to 40% chance of showers and pop-up thunderstorms manifests along the beachfront and just inland first, then pushes inland. What you will eventually find, better conditions by the evening with these daily thunderstorms. By the time we get into Friday, cold front's eventually going to move in, start to get those disturbances moving in and providing for a lot more active times in terms of those rain chances in the area. Next 3 days, looking ahead, 20% chance of rainfall through the rest of this afternoon. Temperatures are going to be pretty nice and warm, though, through the middle to end of this week. Fog's a concern the next couple mornings, and we might see sea fog become an issue for portions of your Friday. Scattered numerous thunderstorms build in, and there will be rain chances around into this weekend.
Thank you, Jeff. A tense hearing on Capitol Hill Tuesday. Former special counsel Robert Hur was on the hot seat answering questions about his investigation into President Biden's handling of classified documents. Bree Jackson is in Washington with that story.
Special counsel Robert Hur under fire for his report regarding President Biden's handling of classified documents that included accusations about the president's mental fitness.
Mr. Hur, you cannot tell me you're so naive as to think your words would not have created a political firestorm.
Hur defended his assessment.
I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind. For that reason, I had to consider the president's memory and overall mental state.
Republicans raised concerns of their own.
So Joe Biden knew the rules, you know he knew the rules, and Joe Biden told us he knew the rules. So Mr. Hur, why did he break them?
Congressman, the conclusion as to exactly why the president did what he did is not one that we explicitly address in the report.
Hur disputed claims that his report was a complete exoneration, even though he did not pursue charges. The White House maintains President Biden is innocent.
The conclusion was simple, that there is no case here. The case is closed. It's time to move on.
The focus is on the 2024 election. Both President Biden and former President Trump secured enough delegates Tuesday to clinch their party's nomination. The president saying voters have to make a choice about the future of America. Trump taking to social media.
So we're not going to take time to celebrate. We'll celebrate in 8 months when the election is over, November 5th.
Trump is expected to attend a hearing in his own classified documents case in Florida Thursday.
And the House voted to pass legislation today that could ban TikTok in the U.S. The vote was 352 to 65, with one member voting present. Legislators on both sides of the aisle have sounded the alarm that the popular video sharing app is a national security threat. TikTok, owned by China-based parent company ByteDance, has mounted an aggressive lobbying campaign to kill the bill, arguing that it would violate the First Amendment rights of its 170 million U.S. users and harm thousands of small businesses, influencers, and content creators that rely on it. The bill now heads to the Senate, where it faces an uncertain fate. TikTok, in a statement, is calling on senators to consider the facts before their vote. President Joe Biden has said that if the bill reaches his desk, he will sign it into law. And coming up after the break, Cassandra Harper Walton joins us in studio to talk about the 16th annual Unity Festival happening this weekend. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Today, Cassandra Harper Walton joins us to talk about the 16th annual Unity Festival happening this weekend. And I've already told me a little bit about it. But first, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so tell me a little bit. Y'all have done this for many years now. You said the 16th annual,
This is the
correct?
16th year, yes, ma'am. And the event consists of community involvement. Everything is free to the public except for the vendors. We have over 60 vendors this year. We have a children's carnival with everything is free to the kids, with all the activities, jumpers, pony rides, just numerous events for the children. And we have like entertainment all day, so it's going to be a blowout day. It is in the quarters, the old historical quarters in Gulfport, on the corner of 30th Avenue to 33rd Avenue, 19th Street to 21st Street. And we expect an awesome crowd. We're praying for awesome weather.
It's very important.
So, but it's a great event, and we like to invite the families. It's family oriented.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's been a great 15 years with no incidents, so we just look forward to every year, and the people look forward to it.
Absolutely. So I know you're very passionate about kids, but also the family experience in general. So maybe why do you keep holding this? Why do you keep having this event?
Because of the community, just giving back to the community. It's like one big fellowship, and people get to see people they haven't seen in years. And it's just a good thing. People love coming together. We have our parade that starts at 1 o'clock.
Gotcha.
And we had have over, last year we had 60 units, so this year it's going to go over that.
Wow.
And we have people coming from everywhere, our vendors, the paraders, they come as far as from Atlanta. We have people coming from Texas, Florida, so it's really grown.
Absolutely. You can tell it's on a lot of people's calendars to get out there too, especially if they're coming from all over.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome. And what are the times? When can people come?
It's from 9 until 6.
Okay,
And
awesome.
I ask everybody to come out and be prepared to support the vendors, eat. We have arts and crafts, food, jewelry, just all numerous vendors.
Absolutely. So people also be prepared to bring some money though, because you're gonna have some good
correct,
people out.
Correct. That's right.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
And so maybe what is your personal favorite part about the event since you've done something with it for so long?
Everything. Also, I forgot to mention that we did our essay scholarship contest.
Oh,
so
wow.
we have 3 winners. They'll be riding in the parade and will be presented on stage the day of the event. So we do more than just the festival.
Absolutely,
So
yes.
it's like say community involvement, giving back.
Awesome. Is there any is there a website or anything else people can go
Yes,
to?
our website is www.unityfestivalinc.org.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Cassandra. We really do appreciate it.
All right, and I appreciate y'all having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I wish you best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And Jeff will have a look at our forecast next, but first let's take a look at our traffic outside. This is I-10 East and Mississippi 603. Traffic is moving outside quite smoothly on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon.
And now, your Weather Authority. Sponsored by Red Pest Solutions, celebrating 70 years.
Here's another view, again showing you the same thing, a little bit gloomy and gray. Clouds break apart somewhat this afternoon, but the nice view along the beachfront is always splendid from our Hancock Whitney camera in downtown Gulfport. However, things are going to get a little rougher as we get pushed further into the forecast. Not thinking severe weather really materializes anywhere in our area, but it's just a good idea to paint where the thunderstorm threat's going to be the highest. Our area, we do have a 60% chance of thunderstorms for your Friday. Waves of heavy rain between now and Monday mean you could see 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in our area, and all of it might come at once. That's how this works typically, and locally heavier amounts, of course, are in play. Could see the potential for flooding, rain, and strong wind gusts. Those are my only real concerns with this upcoming stretch. 10-knot winds out of the southeast, 2-foot seas, a light to moderate chopper protected waters. Still pretty good marine conditions today. Those all pick up tomorrow with 10 to 15-knot winds, 2 to 3-foot seas, and a moderate chopper protected waters. Thing to note, could see sea fog develop tomorrow out in the waters, and showers and thunderstorms, of course, do make conditions worse. Your Mississippi Power extended forecast still has about a 20% chance of rain the remainder of the day. Then it's going to be an unsettled stretch for a little while with widely scattered to scattered thunderstorm chances Thursday into Friday. As we get towards St. Patrick's Day, Saturday looks decent. Sunday, though, heavy rainfall possible at times with the cold front eventually moving through, and that will provide a pretty sharp cool down as we push towards next week with the last bit of cold air likely of the season.
Thank you, Jeff. Looking ahead to Thursday, the Taste of South Mississippi event at the Kroc Center returns. It runs from 5:30 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's the annual event where you can sample foods from the best restaurants South Mississippi has to offer, enjoy live entertainment, and bid on silent auction items. All Taste of South Mississippi proceeds remain in the community to benefit Kroc Center programs and scholarship funds. Also happening tomorrow, the 2024 Picayune Employability Job Fair. That fair is at the Roseland Park Baptist Church in Picayune from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Admission is free for applicants looking for a job in Pearl River County. Be sure to bring your resume and be prepared for on-site interviews. And coming up after the break, where would you think the top golf location in the United States is? Well, don't worry, we'll tell you when we come back. Welcome back. Wisconsin wouldn't necessarily come to mind when you think best golf states, but Golf Digest recently ranked it as the top state for public golf courses. The magazine said Wisconsin has 10 courses recognized as some of the best in the country. Many of them are within short drives of each other and can be played over a weekend.
Myrtle Beach would like a word.
Okay, I bet, but that'd be a good bachelor weekend, I would think, for some guys, all golfing all day.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you for joining us. Our next show is at 5 with Lori and Trey. Until then, have a great afternoon.